Hey there everybody, this is Tyler with TJ's Precision Painting. I'm here at this apartment renovation in Madison, Wisconsin, and I wanted to make this video today to show you how we kind of can bring a wall back to life, doing a few simple steps, and those are going to be filling some of these nail holes. As you can see, there's some cracking in the corner. I'll get you a close-up of that here in a second. That's from vibrations and just kind of the building settling over time. So we're going to caulk that up and get that looking squared away. We are going to cut into the ceiling because we aren't painting the ceiling, and then we're going to roll out the wall. So get started with that. Let's go over some of the materials that you're going to be needing. All right, now that I got all our tools laid out, let's go over them one by one and I'll explain what they're used for. To start off, we have a brush and a broom. We're going to be using the brush on the wall, around the corners, anywhere where there's cobwebs, buildup, stuff like that, especially on older units like this. We have a screwdriver here. Some of these outlets are actually just going to end up getting replaced, but it's a good habit to get into to take them all off to avoid any paint splatter or anything like that. I have a sanding sponge and I have some spackling compound. We're going to be applying the spackling compound, letting it dry for a few hours, and then using the sanding sponge to get that level and flush with the wall. Next up, we have our sleeves for our rollers. I like to use a good quality sheepskin sleeve for my roller, and I use a 3/4 inch nap. I like it, it holds a lot more paint. I don't have to go back to the bucket as much, saving me time, and time is money. And here's a mini roller sleeve. We have a 5-in-1, good for any scraping, even opening paint buckets, stuff like that. Something that you should have when you're painting, no matter what your experience level is. Here's some pliers, just used to get the nails out of the wall, any other wall debris that's on there that's going to be hard to get out. We have our caulk gun and caulk. That's going to be used, as I mentioned before, we have some cracks in the corner. I'll get you a close-up now. And those just happen from vibrations and the building settling over time. We're just going to go ahead and caulk right over that, and I'll show you how to do that to get the best results with little flashing, no flashing actually. Here's a rag. We're going to get wet with warm water. Always good to keep this on you. We have a small cut bucket, and I found one of these a while ago, and I've been using it ever since. It's a can clip. It clips right on the end, and then your paintbrush will stick to the magnet right on there. And it's very, very helpful with not getting your brush completely full of paint. Makes cleaning at the end of the day a lot easier. My brush, I have a Purdy Ultra Stiff Nylon Polyester. You don't want to skimp on the brush. You want a good quality brush. It's going to make your job easier, and it's going to make the end results look a lot easier. We have our mini roller here for after we cut, just to kind of blend that line in, which I'll show you more when we actually get started painting. And then we have a mini screen. Last, we have the 5-gallon bucket with our 9-inch roller handle and our roller screen. Something else that I've started using, when I do multiple rooms, they actually make these liners for your 5-gallon bucket. That way you're not having to wash out the bucket in between every room or buy new buckets for every room. Another thing that saves you time and money and is very helpful. And then we have a few more drop cloths. So without further ado, let's get started with prep. Okay, now I'm going to take my spackling compound and I'm going to just grab a little bit with my fingers. And we're going to go up to a hole here and just take and fill in the hole. You actually want to kind of push it in. Then you can wipe the residual stuff off. You're going to want to do that to every hole on the wall. Then I'm going to take my 5-in-1 and I'm going to go up to these cracks here, and anywhere where I see loose peeling paint, stuff like that, that's just kind of coming off. You can see some of the stuff that kind of wants to stay in there better. That's actually old caulk that's starting to to crack apart. So you just got to work it out. And a lot of times if you go like this on one side and then come down on the other side with a 5-in-1 or even a razor knife, that's going to loosen it up, and then you can just pull it right out. And I'm going to do it anywhere where I see the caulk is starting to crack and pull apart. So let's see what that looks like when all that prep is done. All right, now as you can see, I got a lot of that caulk out of the corner. So now that the surface is nice and smooth, we can go ahead and start caulking. All right, so I went ahead and got my caulk gun ready. I made an angled cut at the end, and I got my wet rag with some warm water on there. All right, so we're gonna start up here in the corner, and we're just gonna take our caulk gun and just a nice gentle squeeze till you see the bead come out, and then run it straight down. You gotta try to be as consistent as possible. Sometimes the crack's gonna be bigger in some areas, so you're gonna have to stay there while you squeeze in more. And there we go. Now we got a nice momentum going, and we're just gonna keep going down, down. All right, now we're gonna get our finger wet here. We're gonna start up here in the corner. Just run it right across. Nice and easy. And now sometimes you're gonna get a little caulk that comes off the side if you put a little too much on. See, I don't know if you can see that right there. You can just get your finger, wipe it on the wet rag, and then just kind of work that off there. Not a big deal since we're gonna be painting right over it. There we go. All right, now cutting and rolling. I'm gonna give you a quick close-up. So we take the brush and you just wanna tap it on either side. And you wanna come up to where you're gonna cut and just kind of work your way in, boom, and just cut straight across just like that. The easiest way to do it is to look in front of the brush, is what's always worked for me for cutting a straight line. Now once you have the extent of the paint on your brush applied to the wall, you're going to dip your mini roller, and you're going to come back up and just hit that line right there so it's seamless. You're going to do that all around the whole wall. I hit around the outlets as well and on the floor. And then we will check back in with how to roll out the wall with our 9-inch roller. Hey, just kind of want to check in as we're cutting here and show you. We have down where we caulked, we have that all cut in down here to where we meet the carpet. And we would just, as we went, we pulled the carpet back a little bit, and we just got right down as low as possible. And now we're working our way back up, remembering to hit each outlet around the outside as we go. Then we're gonna come back up here and end right up at the top here. And then all it is rolling with the 9-inch, which is actually the easiest part once you get all your prep work done. All right, now we're gonna start rolling out the wall. So I got my sleeve on my roller handle, and I'm just gonna screw the pole on. By the way, you always want to make sure you are rolling on a wet edge when you cut, meaning that the paint is still dry where I cut. So when I roll and I hit the paint that I cut, they're both wet and they're gonna dry together. That eliminates any lines, any flashing, stuff like that. So, you know, if I was doing a whole room, I would definitely do the same thing wall at a time. Like I said, to keep a wet edge. So I'm just going to keep the bucket here. And we're just going to dip it. It's going to take a lot because I'm using a big nap on this wall. And the reason for a 3/4 nap is, one, it holds more paint. too, this board does have some lines in there, so I want to get in there. You can use a 1/2 inch, even a 3/8 inch is what I would normally go for on a like sand textured wall. Now that we're all dipped, I'm going to take it and I'm going to go to my starting point here, and I'm just going to go one swoop down diagonal, right in the middle, and then come back up. And that way when I'm rolling up and down, I'm actually going through the paint. I'm going through that wet paint that I put on at first. So again, across, we're coming up and we're going right through that paint. So the wall's all set now, and you notice as I went, I kind of just went and did the whole wall all at once. That's because I'm using a sheepskin roller, one of the best quality rollers. Don't see a lot of lines or anything that I need to back roll on, but let me give you an example. If you're using a roller that's not as high quality, or you're using a high gloss paint, because high gloss paints do show lines a lot easier. So what you'd want to do is you'd want to go ahead and just, apply your paint with the roller. And now before I dip to go to my next area, I'm just going to simply go like this. That's called a back roll. And what you're doing is you're taking out those lines that were left from the roller. Alright, now that the rolling's done, all there is to do is let it dry. Once this wall is done drying, what I like to do is I like to take a handheld light and I like to go over it and just double check square by square, just like I did when I was pulling nails. But now I'm looking for any spots that need touch-ups, any holes. Sometimes you'll miss a hole or two and they will reveal themselves when you put that fresh coat of paint on. They stand out way more. But that's it. We took this, old cracked wall with holes and stuff in it, and we bought it right back to life. And we're going to start moving stuff back now. So I want to thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions, please comment or write us at tjsprecisionpainting.com. I'm Tyler. That's it. Thanks.